My name is Arlene Harrison. I'm 61 years old, and I live in Ottawa, the capital of Canada. I'm a retired teacher. I taught geography for the first few years of my teaching career, and then English as a second language. I like to keep fit, as does my husband. And if he's not jogging or I'm not working out at the Y, we're taking brisk walks along the canal. You know, when I was a little girl, I would go to Sunday school, and the missionaries who had been in Africa would show us their pictures. They'd show us their slides. I remember envying those people who had been there, and I thought, someday I'm going to see those places. I really like to travel, and I went on this trip to the Gambia because I was heading to a part of the world I had never visited and was very curious about it. Several years ago, I lived in Malawi, which is in Southeast Africa. During that time, I heard a lot about West Africa, so I was thrilled to have the chance to visit. The Gambia is a very small country, about halfway down the west coast of Africa. As I looked out the window of the plane, I thought about the last time I'd been in Africa, 16 years before. We flew to Dakar, Senegal, and from there, traveled to Banjul, the capital of the Gambia. We had to cross from Senegal into Gambia by the Gambia River. All those people on that ferry just brought me right back to the Africa I had met years before. It was as if I was coming home. The women were in their colorful costumes with their turbans and their bright dresses, carrying baskets on their heads or chickens or whatever it was. Banjul carried me right back to Malawi. That red soil, the heat, the friendly faces, and colorful dress.
Do you see all these socks?
Yeah, they are second-hand socks, but they are still good.
And they're not too expensive?
No.
How much would a pair of jeans be?
One morning I went with Anna, my guide, to the women's market in Banjul. That was interesting. First of all, it was only women in this section. And here again, a lot of color. I think they wore their best to the market.
I like the headpieces to keep the sun off their heads.
And tied it over.
I need one.
Yeah.
Maybe we can look after.
Yeah, like the woman.
Yeah, I like that. Groundnuts?
Yeah, groundnuts.
Famous in Gambia? Yeah.
We are in the season now. You can.
This looks like a women's cooperative here. So what are you doing here?
She's buying corn.
Buying corn. And then where will you sell it?
They said they used to combine and buy one bag and share it in between and then take it home and resell it.
Do you come every day?
Yes, she said she comes every day.
And how many hours are you here?
It looked like hard work, but they were proud of what they did. They seemed to have a strength in unity.
Thank you. Bye-bye. I like this.
You like it?
I do. Where is it made?
It's made in the Gambia.
Very pretty.
Yeah.
And it's nice light cotton.
Yeah, it's very
Yeah.
soft.
Can you make me a scarf like that?
Yeah, no problem.
Okay.
I can make it for you.
And then come every day to my hotel?
Yeah, and I'll do it for you.
Okay. How does it look?
It's very nice.
Really?
Yeah. So if you like, I can give it to you for a very nice price.
Oh, okay. What's a nice price?
You have American?
Yeah.
Okay, you can give $10.
That is a little too much.
No, that's a nice price. So that you can be my customer next time you come to me. So what's your price then?
5.
5 is too small. You go up a little bit.
550?
550 is too small. Okay, you can give 950.
No. No.
I go down, you go up. We are going in the bargain now.
I'm stopping at 6.
6 is too small for me.
Oh, then I'm going to have to
No.
look someplace else. I have to look someplace
Okay, what's
else.
your highest
Thank
price?
you very much. My highest price is 6. 6 Delassie. What do you think? You know how
you
much
can
I
have
love
for
it.
your price, no
Can
problem.
I?
Yeah.
Okay, it's a bargain. Beautiful in here.
Yes, it's some kind of nature reserve, and it's going towards the Crocodile Pool.
Another guide, Musa, and I went to the Crocodile Pools. That's a big tourist attraction in Banjul.
Yes, it's actually still in the nature.
So the pool's right up here?
Yeah, exactly. We're just approaching the Crocodile Pool, where you can see all of the crocks. Yeah, so the crocodiles.
They look pretty docile.
Yeah, they're harmless. These are the dwarf type of crocodiles. We have the Nile and the dwarf type of crocodiles. But this place here has been breeding crocodiles since time immemorial.
Really?
This is Kachikale. It's a holy place and it's a sacred place. People here, they said that these crocodiles are all sacred crocodiles.
They're all underneath,
Yes, more than 70 of them are underneath. And
except for our 2 friends here.
yeah,
About
Wow.
how old are those 2?
these are maybe about 2.5, 3 years old, but they're bigger ones who have been here since about 10, 11 years.
And there he was trying to tell me about the actual pool. When a barren woman would come and visit at this pool, she would perhaps become lucky, become fortunate, and maybe get pregnant and be able to bear a child. And he's telling me all this serious stuff, and I can hardly concentrate because there's a crocodile crawling up the bank beside my foot. And I'm looking at him and trying to show that I'm interested, and all the time I'm thinking, I'm going to have my toes bitten off by this crazy croc. Musa and I one morning went to the famous Abuco game reserve. At one point we saw a colony of huge ants. I don't think I'd seen ants this size before, just marching across our path.
These are the ants. Look at the bigger ones. They guide the younger ones. And in the correct direction, you can see they're moving in 2 different directions, but they're all coming the same way. They guide them. And if you don't want to listen, they take you. And you're disciplined. Those are the soldiers.
Okay. And they just pick you up?
They pick you up and take you, and you're disciplined.
Okay.
Yes, they take you to jail. Yes, they are disciplined and they know what they have to do.
How many do you think would be crossing our
My
path?
God, it's more than 1 million. You're looking at millions. And they can attack and they can kill even a python. Believe me, within 24 hours the python is gone. Yes, they kill.
Imagine.
Now, what we didn't know was that we were upsetting them because they felt our footsteps nearby. And we're kneeling down and looking at them, and pretty soon they are coming into our sandals and coming up our pant legs. Well, we had to get out of there fast.
Feels a bit like rain, eh?
Yeah, I think so, but not now.
The Gambia is famous for its birds and its animals, and this was a beautiful reserve we visited. And it was a fresh morning, was lovely. and we'd walk through these canopies of trees.
I can't believe the amount of bird life in here.
Yeah, lots of birds. Right here in Abuco, it's about 300 species. In the Gambia itself, it's about more than 700 species, different type of birds.
See, that grass looks like rice.
They're not rice, they're wild grass, giant grass they are.
Is that the neem tree?
No, it's not a neem tree. It's a,
It looks like it.
no, they're within the families of the neem tree, but this one is a locust tree.
Okay.
And then it comes out with fruit we call keseng because it's looking like a bush knife, and when it's dried out, it shakes. And when we were kids, we used it to play with.
Okay.
But it's actually a locust tree.
Musa and I went to a wonderful performance of dance. It wasn't a scheduled performance, and Musa had to go to a fair bit of trouble to get these dancers together to give us an idea of the kind of dance they do in the Gambia. They must have danced for a couple of hours, and it was absolutely infectious. The great acrobats, great drummers, great singers. There was one man, I found out he's kind of a shaman. It's called a kankorang, and I'd never seen anything like it. Earth fibers covered his entire body from head to toe. And then on top of that, he'd put fresh green foliage, like branches of green leaves. He looked kind of like a woolly brown bear. Towards the end of the performance, I thought, I gotta dance. It's very hard if you like to dance or you like action to just sit or stand still when you see something as exciting as this. On Sunday evening, Musa took me to the wrestling matches. Every Saturday and Sunday evening in Banjul, the capital of the Gambia, people go to the wrestling matches. Now, they had to drag me there because I'm not a wrestling fan, but it was one of the best evenings that I had in that country. The wrestling is like nothing I'd ever seen. It's men, young, full of energy, beautiful bodies, gorgeous guys who wear a loincloth, really. And you go into a big sand arena. I mean, everybody sits around in these stands around a sand arena. It's not rough wrestling in that these men don't kick or punch, but they do grab handfuls of sand to get a grip on their partner, and then there's a little sand throwing and, sand in the eyes. The idea is to get your opponent to the ground. And one will get his partner to the ground, and then it's a big da-da as they stand up, run around, and hold out a hat for money. We went at dusk too, and so it was cool. Just a great evening's entertainment. Up near Georgetown, we crossed to the north side of the Gambia and visited the kind of village that I had always wanted to visit in Africa. One that was hardly influenced by tourists. No corrugated tin roofs, no concrete or plaster. It was just homemade brick and wattle round houses with the thatched roofs.
Oh, yes.
What I was telling you about the coast is how they...
We saw the women stripping corn from the husks and grinding the grain, making flour.
Beautiful flower.
The flour.
But while we were talking, a crowd was gathering, a crowd of villagers,
all the girls.
mostly women, old men, and children. And we just started talking with each other, and they'd show me their babies' pierced ears and their little brothers and sisters.
Hello. Hello.
Look.
Look at the knees.
And then they started to sing and dance. And these kids were so cute.
Bye-bye. Do they know that?
Bye.
Bye. Bye. And thank you. And thank you. Yeah.
Something I found very interesting about the Gambia was its role during the slave trade period. We went to James Island. James Island was pretty well occupied by a fortress that had been built in 1651. There was a little sign up to tell us this. But we saw this fort, which in time was used also as a slave prison. That was a pretty sobering sight.
This is where they call the dungeon. For those ones who doesn't want to listen, the stubborn one. They're brought here and kept here for days and days. Dark in there, isn't it?
Small.
Yeah, small. It's not a pleasant place.
No.
See that? This is the last part of the dungeon. When a slave is totally stubborn, they bring you and they let you down here by ladder. So there's no way out unless you swim. And at high tides, the water comes in and it's wet in there, and at low tides, it dries out, but it's still wet. They stay here. Some of them died here.
Or killed themselves.
Yeah, well, you can call it suicide, but just look at that.
Then from here to the ships.
To the ships, yes, exactly.
It was a testimony to a very terrible time in the history of the Gambians. Probably the very best time I had in the Gambia was bird watching. I went out in the evening with a guide called Solomon.
That's a pied kingfisher.
Where? I can't see.
On the right-hand side, right on top.
Oh, yeah.
That's it. That's a pied kingfisher.
What does pied mean?
Pied is black and white and is the commonest kingfisher in the Gambia.
He was just so gentle and so knowledgeable. We were sitting in this dugout canoe, very slowly moving along the mangroves. Just at sunset, it was a lovely time. And he taught me a couple of bird songs to help me remember the call of the birds.
That one goes, "Coo, coo, 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 coo. I am the red-eyed dove. I am the red-eyed dove. I am the red-eyed dove.
I am the red-eyed dove. I am The red-eyed dove. I like that.
Correct. That's it.
Cuckoo, 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 cuckoo.
That's the call of a scarlet spectacled wattle eye. Did you hear that?
No.
It's called the scarlet spectacled wattle eye. Yeah, it's
Something like that.
yeah.
Yeah.
It goes. Christmas Day is eating day. 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 Christmas Day is eating day.
Overall, I was glad I went on this trip. I was glad to have had the opportunity to get to a part of the world I had never been to. But it was also good in that, in spite of the fact that it was maybe 4,000 miles away from the other part of Africa where I had lived, it was so similar in many ways, and I guess I feel more complete after this trip. I just think there's so much wonderful stuff in the world beyond our small corner that we've got to get out there and see it. I guess I just love travel. You know, if I have a chance, I'll go for it.